A man failed to help him. Maurice, the district attorney here in Brooklyn, says Officer Lawrence French was on duty when he injured a man, failed to help him, and then tried to hide what had happened. After court, the officer's defense attorney went on offense.
He's absolutely the victim. He is wrongfully accused, and we look forward to clearing his name, which we will do.
Attorney Ves Mitev claiming an incredible misjustice against MTA Bridges and Tunnels officer Lawrence French, charged with leaving the scene of an accident and threatening the victim.
Cowardly and outrageous.
Jeff Rothman represents 41-year-old Julio Cañete. The DA says French was on patrol when he struck and injured Cañete on the Brooklyn side of the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. Prosecutors claim French loaded the injured man in his patrol car, drove him across the bridge to Staten Island, and dumped him near Tompkins and Wadsworth. As the victim called 911 on his cell phone, the DA says French drove back to Brooklyn, got his personal car, returned to the scene in Staten Island, and allegedly confronted the victim inside the ambulance.
He leans over my client and in an intimidating voice says to him in sum and substance, "Don't say it was me."
The lawyer for the cop has a very different story.
He's served the thin blue line. He is the victim here. He is the victim of what's also known as a cash grab, when somebody tries to get hit by a police car and then sue the city, which is exactly what happened here.
What do you say to the suggestion that your client is kind of a scam artist playing lawsuit lotto?
Absolute nonsense. My client was victimized by a law enforcement officer who treated him like a piece of garbage.
Well, and get this, according to his social media accounts, Officer French is also qualified as an EMT. He pleaded not guilty today. He was released without bail. The MTA tonight calling these allegations, quote, deeply troubling. The agency has suspended French pending the outcome of the criminal case against him. Live in downtown Brooklyn, Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.
Cop arrested for hit and run in patrol car and dumping victim across town. A New York cop has been arrested and charged for allegedly running over a man in a crosswalk and then dumping him across town in a parking lot. Staten Island, New York. A Metro Transit Authority cop from Brooklyn was arrested this week after he allegedly dumped his hit and run victim on Staten Island after running him down with his cruiser in a crosswalk. On May 26, 2016, according to court records, this cowardly cop ran over an innocent man while on duty and then refused to help him. Instead of help, Officer Lawrence French threw his victim in the back of the police car and dumped him on Staten Island. After dumping the injured man, Julio Cañete, French then told his victim that if he told anyone he'd been hit by a cop, he was in trouble. Cañete was walking toward a bus stop in Bay Ridge when he was struck by French's marked MTA vehicle and thrown into the air, Assistant District Attorney Prabha Leopulam said Thursday in court. The defendant's post at the time of the incident was traffic enforcement. Acting Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez said. He should have been keeping pedestrians safe, not endangering lives. As the Daily News reports, French is accused of picking Cañete up off the ground near the corner of Gatling Place and 92nd St and asking him where he lived. When a disoriented Cañete told French he lived in Staten Island, the officer put him in the back seat of his squad car and drove him more than a half-mile across the bridge, according to a lawsuit Cañete filed in Manhattan federal court in May against French and the MTA. The cop is suspected of leaving Cañete, 41, on the pavement of a parking lot at Tompkins and Wadsworth Aves in Staten Island and driving away. Cañete called 911. Prosecutors said at no point did French, a 10-year veteran, call for help. A charge the officer's attorney disputes. Prosecutors also said French drove the MTA car to an employee parking lot, got into his personal vehicle and returned to where he left Cañete. Cañete has since filed a lawsuit, which notes, alongside prosecutors, that French then ordered him not to tell anyone he had hit him with his police car. Read more. How American conservatives went from fighting the police state to worshipping it. After the severely injured man was finally picked up by an ambulance, he spent 4 days in Staten Island University Hospital where he was treated for multiple injuries and underwent surgery on his knee. French is charged with leaving the scene of an incident without reporting it, a felony, and third-degree intimidating a witness. Naturally, Ferenca's attorney, Veselin Mitev, did what most cop lawyers do when their officers are in trouble. He blamed the victim. Mitev shamelessly attempted to paint KENNETH as a crook out looking for a quick buck by getting run over by a cop. My client is the victim of what's known as a cash grab, when people try to get hit by a police car and sue the city. That's exactly what happened here, Mitev said. Perhaps people would be more inclined to believe Mitev's bogus story if police officers hitting people with their wasn't so common. As the Free Thought Project routinely reports, cops hit people, including innocent pedestrians, with their cars all the time. Having a laptop out in front of you as you speed down the road, most assuredly, has its drawbacks. Just ask Calum Gonzalez. Gonzalez, 15, was walking away from his home on January 14, 2015, when he was struck by a Temple police car. The officer in the car, according to the lawsuit, left him trapped under it, with the engine running. For 10 minutes the 15-year-old boy was burned all over his body. He suffered multiple third-degree burns to his torso, thighs, and pelvis, including his genitals, caused by the hot engine. Read more. One of NYC's finest arrested for getting drunk and exposing himself at an elementary school. The victim was under the middle of the vehicle face up, the lawsuit petition says. Emergency workers smelled the burning flesh, but no one made efforts to move the car or turn off the engine, the suit says. He was unable to flee or do anything. He was being burned alive. One needn't even be on a roadway to get run over by a police officer. Last year, Lindsay Gordon, 24, was out sunbathing on the beach when an out-of-control cop in his police cruiser came barreling down the sand and ran her over. Gordon, who merely wanted to catch some sun with her friend, was hospitalized in critical condition with a shattered pelvis and internal bleeding. One of the reasons these officers of the law can drive like this is because they often get away with it. Rosa Sakina, a Russian immigrant, was struck by Officer Lori Lynn Gullett on August 16, 2013, and died 5 days later. The officer backed out of a parking spot and hit the elderly woman. Not only was Gullett not charged in Sakina's death, but she wasn't disciplined in the matter and the report named Sakina as the party at fault.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheep up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby, I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.